Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Brilliant Minds. Now I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Saudi Arabia is home to some of the wealthiest people in the world. All sorts of kings, princesses, prominent businessmen, not typically women there, and a whole lot of money between them all. Sure, there is some poverty there, but mainly in the form of people who bow and scrape to serve the rich people there. On that note, let me introduce you to today's video, that is 5 richest kids of Saudi Arabia. So let's get this video started. Number 1. Which car should we drive today? This just hurts me. I think Lamborghinis are very pretty, hot, sexy, and dangerous cars. And here is just a casual lineup of them. How come I was never born into a rich family in the middle of the desert? Oh well. What really gets me is that there are both the Lambo Aventador and several which appears to be Lambo Hurricanes. Just to point out how much these rich Saudi kids have spent here, not a single one of these first 4 cars in the parking lineup are cheaper than $400,000, which basically means that there is at least about $2 million worth of Lamborghinis sitting right there. It's making me salivate. I know that if I had the money to buy one of those monsters, I definitely wouldn't buy one. I would buy a much cheaper and classier Mustang, and I would then buy a house. Number 2. Now this is a home theater. One of the princes of Saudi Arabia figured it would be pretty cool to have a special home theater set up. And when he said home theater, he was not kidding. Sure, the screen isn't all that huge, but it's definitely bigger than my TV. And it's not like you can't see what's going on in the film. And then just to have a beach setup of nice furniture and some surround sound. He's just created the coolest and comfiest theater I've ever seen. The only way this could be turned into something awful is if the weather took a turn. If a sandstorm or a big rainstorm suddenly whipped up, it might make things awkward in this open air theatre setting. But I mean, there's no denying how awesome that is. And beyond that, if the weather does pick up, they can just go back in the house because this little theatre setup is basically just one terrace on the prince's property. Number 3. All gold. This almost makes me sick, more because of the shitty colour that this rich kid decided to go with than the actual cars he happens to own. Though it does also make me pretty sick to know that someone can afford a Ferrari, a Mercedes and a Lamborghini to be painted the same awful colour, just to show off how wealthy he is. It's sickening enough to think about the amount of money it costs just to buy the 3 cars without the matching paint job. If I had the millions it would have taken to build this matching collection, I can tell you that I would definitely not spend it on these 3 cars or their matching paint job. I would do something responsible, like save it, live off the interest, and invest some of it as well. Of course, when you live with a virtually limitless supply of money, I guess you don't think about savings or investment. Number 4. Rolls-Royce cheater. So, there are a couple of things to discuss when it comes to how this Saudi rich kid spends his money. First of all, you already have a Rolls-Royce Phantom. Did you really need to gold-plate it? Secondly, why and how do you have a cheetah on a leash that no one is holding so you can get a photo of it on the hood of the Rolls? Imagine how scratched up that car would get with that cat on it. I know that these guys have literally tons of money, but still. And as for the cheetah, besides the fact that I doubt a leash would really work for it, why did you let go of it? What if it decides to attack? Sure, you might have been training the poor thing, but it's still a wildcat, and its instinct is to still have a go at your jugular whenever it gets a chance. And in this photo, it has the high ground. Number 5. Got money on my mind. Alright, so look, this seems less impressive than a giant cat sitting on top of a Rolls Royce, and that's because it is. But that doesn't mean it's not impressive anyway. And it also doesn't mean that you don't have to be rich to have things in this photo. Rolex watches are thousands of dollars. Now if you have a Rolex with gold and diamonds, chances are you're paying quite a bit. Then moving on to the car. Just imagine how much it costs to add this car to the mix. Now, the base price of that car is over $200,000. And considering how the rich kids of Saudi Arabia seem to spend their money, the exterior of the car is probably plated in gold and probably has a real life lion stuffed in the trunk or laying on the roof. Well guys, this brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it, hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. With that, I'll see you next time.